let's move on to some Kickstarters. Okay, so we're going to kick off with League of Infamy from Mantic. 11 days left. It's a occasionally cooperative dungeon crawler. Jerry, what do we know about it?
It's all about shooting people in the back of the head.
I could live with that. Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's for Kings of War background, so for Panathor, but in this case, the League of Infamy is a unusual group of people who don't like the balance of power to change too much. So these aren't governments. These aren't people in charge. These are essentially bankers going, we don't think the elves should really have that much power. We're going to get a group of people like the usual suspects, people who can be sent in and do the mission, and if they die, it doesn't matter. And then they will balance, by butchering the elves, or maybe then the halflings will get a bit full of themselves, so they need to be dealt with, and they're always willing to throw people into harm's way. Yeah. So it's that cooperative feel, because you can play against a dungeon keeper who decides, how to spend the various resources they get as they blunder their way through, raising alarms and that sort of thing. Or there is going to be an AI option if you want to play fully cooperative. But again, I say fully in quote marks, quote,
competitive.
It's very competitive because you have a set of cards of your own that you can trade in and out on various turns, and they allow you to do things. So I was watching a Let's Play where, like Hellboy, your team isn't dead until everybody's down. So you can lose, you can be knocked out, people can stand over you and just beat you on the head repeatedly to make sure you don't get up again. But until the last member of the party goes, your party's still valid. So you need to wipe out a whole team in one go. And a goblin went down on the ground, and people were talking about, maybe we'll just leave and we'll leave the goblin to his own devices, until he pointed out, going, none of you are getting out of here without me. I'm just saying that. Because whatever card he had in his hand stopped them from doing that. And you're constantly bartering with your teammates, because it's not about doing the mission. It's about doing the mission, making it out, and being the most infamous. So there's no point in just sort of slanking out at the bottom end and going, oh, we've done it, well done you. Whereas everybody else is going, my God, did you see the vampire? They were insane. She butchered everyone. She's a legend. And nobody really knows about the goblin who stabbed a few people in the back. So you've got to do the mission in such a spectacular way that you come out on top. And if that means pushing the abyssal dwarf into the middle of a bunch of elves and cats, then so be it. And they have been rocking this Kickstarter. So they've been going for short stretch goals, where they've been jumping between either adding a miniature or adding some more cards for the gameplay to develop the gameplay, so that we're not seeing big stretch goals. They're little short ones where they're going, here's a couple more disruption cards, so here's a couple of things. And you're just getting a steady progression. They've also unlocked both halflings, including things like a sorcerer. And when I say sore, I mean saucerer. She makes sauces. She's a cook. Their magic is based on cookery. I
think that's her there.
Yeah, that's her balanced on the pot. Gastromancy is the style, and the
gastromancy
and the sorcerer makes the sauces. They've also added some stuff for the Trident Realm, so they're really developing different expansions, and each expansion will have a unique feel. So the core game is all about the elves and the dracons. No Half Measures is all about halflings, and Trident Realms are getting their own. So they've all these flavors that they're sort of weaving into this occasionally cooperative game.
Well, so, I quite like the idea of this.
I can't imagine we will make it out of any mission when we play this. I imagine what will mostly happen is we'll all spend the entire game butchering each other and not even getting near the objectives.
But will we have fun doing that?
Oh, God,
yes.
yeah.
Are all the sculpts new for this game, are they?
Yeah, everything's being sculpted as new. The range is coming out in the same sort of plastic that they used for Hellboy, so they'll be pre-built for board game pieces, but they've recently added these as additional add-ons, where you can get these as resin. So if you want to add them as heroes for Kings of War or Vanguard, you can pick them up, and these will be resin, so finer cast, with the exception of the Drakon Lord, who's going to stay plastic because he would be ridiculously expensive in resin. But the detail they put into that plastic is just insane anyway.